the issue of inclusive economic growth.
We have today a very important reporter who will talk about why most inclusive growth be a priority for policymakers, businesses, and the public in general.
Here is Juan David Ledesma with the breaking news.
Hello everyone, this is Juan David Ledesma, reporter of the NBC News. Today, as a special, we will address one of the biggest problems our society is suffering from, inclusive growth. Inclusive growth is a growth that benefits everyone's progress in any matter. It promises a more successful economy with more equality among classes. One of the priorities of the inclusive growth is the creation of opportunities for all parts of the population, including awareness for the people's well-being and the distribution of money.
Tell us, Juan David, what is an economic indicator?
Thank you, Alejandra. Economic indicators are measurements that let us know how and if economic inclusion is taking part of today's society.
Some economic indicators include percent of foreign-born population aged 16 to 64 who are working, employment gap between whites and people of color, gap of social inclusion between mestizos and white, indigenous exclusion with other ethnic groups, and wage inequality between men and women.
Handicapped workers exclusion, unemployment gap between sexual preferences, employment gap between experienced and non-experienced people, educational level difference between indigenous and white people, and job position inequality between women and men.
And David will now tell us about the hypothetical goals there could be to achieve economic inclusion.
Look at this view. Sure, kind reporter, the goals of achieving this inclusion are increase employment rates for immigrants, include people of color in high-paying jobs, inclusion of the indigenous party on social events, decrease the exclusion of mestizos at social events, increase women wages, create more handicap-friendly workspaces, increase the number of educational centers for people of scarce resources, decrease interest rates, and of course, increase toleration for immigrant workers.
However, there are some challenges meeting these goals, including the education of people, racism, male superiority, and the flexibility and state of mind that citizens of Ecuador live in, meaning that the culture in which they were raised, which excludes people from different backgrounds.
Some industries in Ecuador that could be prioritized as means towards economic inclusions are pharmaceuticals, petroleum engineers, and health centers.
Now, Juan David will talk about these industries and how we can create skills development programs in Ecuador so that Ecuadorians are employed in well-paying industries.
The program we propose for health centers is to make it mandatory to give a free internship of about 200 people in which they talk and introduce their area of expertise. For the industry of pharmaceuticals, we propose to create a program in which pharmacists are demanded to give at least one class a year in which they teach about their job to interested students. We have finally come up with a plan for the petroleum engineers, in which we promote a trip to the Amazon and the petroleum sites to improve the knowledge in the area. Let's all make a wish and hope it comes true.